All right, folks. Mark here again, cooking books, bringing info. Y'all know how I do. I stay cooking the books and I stay bringing the info. Now, I just want to share with you guys real quick some more information about. But I want to touch on the Garden of Eden, right? We know about the Garden of Eden in the Bible in the biblical times in the olden days. Genesis, obviously it's the first home or place of residence for Adam and Eve. Again, should you subscribe to this theology? I want to talk about that. So here's the thing. We know that again, the Bible is it's you could take parts of it literal, and written in a parabolic sense, right? There's parables, so it's parabolically written, it's metaphorically written, and it's allegorically written. The fancy smashy words of just saying everything is symbolic. Most of it, there's a lot of symbolism involved, and there's a reason for this because if you look at Colossians, I think it's chapter 1, verse 26, it talks about the mysteries of God has been hidden from the ages. Now, my thing is, why do God hide his wisdom in symbolism, in parables, in metaphors, etc., etc.? Why is this information esoteric, which means again hidden, right? It's because folks, we're not alone in this galaxy. We're not alone in this universe. If the other side, right, the 2/3 of the angels that rebelled against God with Satan. If you look at Isaiah, I will ascend to the heavens, right, and he talks about the rebellion that was taking place in the heavens of heavens. The the information that is metaphoric and parabolic is because if the other side was to have access to this information, we would stop existing as we know it because in the Garden of Eden, there is no literal garden. The Garden of Eden is not a literal place. The Garden of Eden is a state. It is a state of consciousness. Eden is symbolic of a higher plane of consciousness. In the garden, when Adam and Eve was in the garden, that means they were in that higher state of consciousness. The trees, there's two trees, the tree of life, the tree of good knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life represents a flow of divine energy. So Adam, if you put a T instead of the D, you have the word atom, and that's no coincidence. An atom is a fundamental, an elementary, rudimentary element of all of the universe as we know it. Atoms compose and consist and makes atoms forms molecules, molecules forms objects, mass and matter. Atoms is a building block of everything. So an atom is primordial. It's the earliest. It's the first. It's primary. It's necessary. And Adam is the first man. So the word first or the words primary is the connection between atom and Adam. They're both primary. They're both first. They are both building blocks. Adam, the man, is the building block for all humanity. An atom is the building block for all humanity, right? They're still both, they're pretty much the same thing. And that's why there's only a letter that differentiates between the two, atom and Adam. And what's important about the Garden of Eden is that it was a state, again, not necessarily a place, but a state of consciousness, of the highest form of consciousness that both Adam and Eve existed in. So they existed in that state. The tree of life represented a flow of constant and in continuity. There's a continuity and perpetuity of energy that is being flowed from God, the divine, the highest state of consciousness, into Adam, the first man. Right? Once so there was a constant communication between God and man, right? Once they were ousted out of the Garden of Eden, right? Which is all that meant is they went from a higher plane to a lower plane of consciousness, right? That's why you have a conscious, you have a subconscious, and then if you go into the metaphysics, you have the multidimensionality of man, right? You have the astral body, the emotional, the mental, the physical, the casual plane, right? You have the subtle plane, the ethereal plane. So there's these different levels, right? So this is what it meant though when they were ousted out of the garden. That means that they dropped or they were reduced from a higher state of consciousness to a lower vibrational rate, which is a lower frequency, a lower state of consciousness. Now, the manifestation of the lower state of consciousness is the ego and the personality, and that creates and morphs our reality and therefore veils, creates a veil or a wall of partition or a wall of demarcation, which is a gap, a chasm, a border between the spiritual realm and the earthly realm, the spiritual realm and the physical realm. And with that gap, that border, that line of demarcation, forever disconnected the communication that they once had with God that was constant in perpetuity and continuity. Now there's static. We can still communicate with God because Jesus came and gave us that bridge where we can now draw near to the throne of grace, but there is static. There is lines do drop. There's you didn't pay your phone bill this month, so we're cutting off your line, right? And these are all being facetious, using metaphors and analogies. But I'm sure you're intelligent, so you get my gist. So that's it. I just kind of want to touch on the Garden of Eden. There's much more. I can sit here for another days. I can sit here with you for days, delving in, deciphering the Garden of Eden. There's so much more, like the snake. And Eve. She bit the apple. Right? Was there some sex going on? Was there some adultery going on? Was there? I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stop right here. Till next time. We'll touch on it again. Peace.